טוב ומנעים, שבת כולנו גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת כולנו גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is, how good it is for us to be together. How good it is, how sweet it is, how good it is for us to be together. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שווה כולנו גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שווה כולנו גם יחד.
Inei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is to be together, come to celebrate Shabbat, to step back from everything that happens during the week, to focus on our day of rest, to focus on prayer, on study, on each other, on God, and on celebration. And this Shabbat, we get to celebrate a bat mitzvah, the bat mitzvah of Aliyah Stanton, who's going to be called for an Aliyah tomorrow, fitting, her first Aliyah to the Torah as she celebrates her bat mitzvah. What was that? An Aliyah for Aliyah. There we go. Law of conservation of words, of names. And we're very happy that Aliyah is going to help us lead Kabbalat Shabbat tonight. And so we mark the beginning of Shabbat with the lighting of candles that mark the end of the work week and the beginning of sacred time. So I'm going to invite Aliyah and her parents and her sisters to come on up to the bima to help us get started lighting the Shabbos candles. And I invite everyone to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. So Aliyah is going to stay with us up on the bima. You may be seated. Let's turn to the Sidurim, to the prayer books, smaller of the two books. And we open with the words of Kabbalat Shabbat, a series of psalms and songs that the mystics added to the service as a way of welcoming in the day. We turn to page 11, the opening words. Let us go and sing to God. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, we greet God as we raise our voice in song. Aliyah leads us, Lechuner Anana. 14, in the middle of the page, the heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grows in them exult, even the trees of the forest sing praise, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismehu Hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismehu Hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismehu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Mumla, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Mumla, Yismehu Hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismehu Hashamayim,
Hashamayim.
Yismehu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz.
We continue on page 20, the final 3 lines of the page, Romamu.
Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtahavu l'har kosho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtahavu l'har kosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtahavu l'har kosho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtahavu l'har kosho.
Turn to page 23, Lecha Dodi. We welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride. Aliyah is going to lead us in the first 2 stanzas, and then we turn to the final stanza, Boi v'shalom, which means come in peace. And the tradition when we reach those words is to stand in our places and to face the door of the congregation. Page 23, Lecha Dodi.
Laha dodi likra kala b'nei shabbat nekabela. Laha dodi likra kala b'nei shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zahor b'dibor echad, Yishmiyanu el hameyuhad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Shemati forever, la 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 hadodi, likra kala, b'nei shabbat nekabela. La hadodi, likra kala, b'nei shabbat nekabela. Likrat shabbat lehu v'nelcha, ki hi mikor habracha mirosh mikadem and sukkah. Sov ma'aseh v'la shabbat la 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 hadodi, likra kala, b'nei shabbat nekabela. La hadodi, likra kala, b'nei shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom materet ba'ala, Damim zahar u'v'ola, Togam yunayam segula. Boi chala, la 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 hadodi, likra kala, b'nei shabbat nekabela. La hadodi, likra kala, b'nei shabbat nekabela.
I was going to say turn to your right, turn to your left, say Shabbat Shalom, but you are already seated. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Wow, this light is very bright. We turn to the Psalm for Shabbat, page 27, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Join with me. Yai la 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 la, yai la la la. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Page 27, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha ve'emunatcha b'leilot alei asor va'alei navel alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizke shetulim beveit Adonai b'chatzarot Eloheinu yafrichu od yirvu v'sevad shenim v'rananim yehiu lehagir ki yashar Adonai turi v'lo havlatabo.
Page 29.
Adonai malachi ulavesh, lavesh. Adonai oz hitazar, aftikon tevel baltimot. Mikolot mayim rabim, adirim mishbereyam, adir bamarom Adonai. Erotecha nemnu melvetcha navakodesh. Adonai le'orech yamin.
Each Shabbat, we have a tradition to share the words of the priestly blessing, which is one of the oldest prayers in Judaism found in the Torah, with our children and our families. It's part of the home rituals on Shabbat. And here, when we gather together to welcome in Shabbat, we share it with the members of the community around us. So I'm going to invite everyone to please rise and look at the people all around you and say Shabbat Shalom, say hello, and put your arms around your mishpacha, your family, as we share the words of Birkat Kohanim.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha kin yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav ilecha v'chuneka kin yehi ratzon.
May God lift up God's face to you, and may God be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav ilecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Kin yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Kin yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Kin yehi ratzon.
May God grant you shalom shalom, grant you peace, ken yehi ratzon. May be seated. We turn to the Mishaberach prayer, the prayer for healing, and we think of the people who could use a little bit of extra strength this Shabbat, people who might need strength in body, strength in spirit. If you'd like to include someone in the prayer for healing, I invite you to rise in your place and to share the names of the people you are praying for when I come to you. At Kol HaCholim and all those who are ill, we join together the Mishaberach prayer for healing.
El na rafana la. Let's join together. El na rafana la. El na rafana lo. Misha birach avoteinu. El na rafana la. El na rafana lo. Misha birach imoteinu. Grant us refuah shlema. Grant us refuah shlema. May the one of spirit renew our bodies, renew our spirit, and let us say Amen.
Turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 30, and before we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, I want to acknowledge the Yortzites being observed this coming week. We remember Aaron Berman, Eric Cohen, Mayor David Silverman, and Nathan Pinsoff, Anna Ginsberg, Charles Fine, Frank Lubin, Gordon Hollander, Harry Farber, Harry Schaefer, Lawrence Williams, Ruth Bograd, Bernice Pinchuk, Lottie Ashendorf, Max Zander, Philip Klein, Selma Firestone, Yetta Weiss, Henry Seed, Isaac Katznelson, Joseph Wernick, Molly Burak, Morton Turk, Raymond Oppenheimer, Fanny Sokolovsky, Arnold Levinson, Donald Vinnick, Gertrude Cohen, Lillian Rosenfeld, Marion Schneider, Sydney Efros, Adele Grossman, Glenda Schusterman, Harry Morris Green, Malka May Zahav, Marcia Ruth Farbman, Molly Fabricant, Moses Lusky, Robert Zeisler, Rin Burke, Samuel Hellman, Celia Krasno, Lundy Levine Hartis, Matty Rice, Morris Gilberts, Nathaniel Roberts, Hugo Rosenberger, Irving Beanstalk, Milton Robert Olshan, Milton Shoemaker, and Morris Kaufman. We also remember our friends and family who passed away recently. We mark the recent passings of Harold Shapiro, Melvin Siegel, Kimberly Zabran, Dale Calliser, and Gerald Epner. I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the Mourner's Kaddish on page 30. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru amen Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulamei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yit'halal, shemei dekudshah, b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma v'imru amen, yehesh lama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen, oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. Good Shabbos. Shalom. So when you come into shul every week, you never know who's going to walk in the door, hopefully for the better. But I remember one time in Louisville, distinct memory, came into shul on a Shabbos morning. I'm conducting services. And who should walk in the back door but Jesus himself? I think I'm serious. I kind of am. He had long, flowing blonde hair because, of course, a man from the Middle East would be blonde, and a long beard. He was wearing a robe, an off-brown robe, like he was traveling through the desert. He had a walking stick in his hand. I really hope there was more clothing under the robe. I don't actually know. And old sandals of some sort. And he was carrying a Bible in his hand. And I don't mean a Torah or a Chumash, I mean a Bible. And he sat there all of services, just like that. This was before security was so much of a thing in synagogue services. Well, during Kiddush, he chose to come and join Kiddush and sat down. And remember him talking to one of my 90-year-olds, a very nice old Jewish man named Max. They had a great conversation from what I hear. But I went over and introduced myself to this man. And his name was not Jesus, his name was something else, but he was a seminary student in the Southern Baptist Seminary that was in the town. And, I said, I don't mean to be rude, but, this isn't the usual attire for synagogue. And he told me, on his off time, he likes dressing like this. Okay, I had an interesting conversation with the provost of the Southern Baptist Seminary later in the week and never saw that guy again. But it was an interesting story. And I thought about it this week when I saw a story from Israel that also made me laugh. I'll tell you about the provost another time. He was not known to like Jewish people, but we had a great conversation. And earlier this week, I saw a story in some of the Israeli newspapers that at the official Yom HaZikaron, Israeli Memorial Day ceremony, there was a man in the audience who was believed to be the Sephardic chief rabbi of Israel. He was dressed in the Sephardic chief rabbi's outfit of a very specific robe, a long beard of a certain type, and glasses, and was wearing a distinct turban around his head, similar to the style that the Sephardic chief rabbis wear. And people were going up to this man, asking him for blessings, assuming that he was the chief rabbi of Israel. Well, I think by the way I'm saying this, you can probably figure out that he was not. He was, described by the newspaper, a minor TikTok influencer in Israel who has been known to dress in the attire of the chief rabbi from time to time. And this story made the news, questioned their security somewhat at this official ceremony. But, his response to it on his TikTok channel, and or wherever he put this out, keeping in mind that he's talking in the third person, wrote, "The honorable rabbi feels holiness and grandeur by wearing the holy robe, and this is his full right. We apologize if it bothers other rabbis." Okay then, well, I'm sure he can wear whatever robe he wants, but it seemed he was presenting himself as the chief rabbi. So people went up to this man looking for a blessing, assuming that he was holy because of the way he was dressed. And in fact, if you asked this man, he would also say, I feel a sense of holiness when I'm wearing this outfit that is associated with the chief rabbi of Israel. It's a kind of an interesting statement. And tomorrow, we're going to read two Torah portions. The first is called Acharei Mot. The second is called Kedoshim. And in Acharei Mot, the first Torah portion, we have a great example of the oldest Jewish holy outfits that someone who represented the term Kiddusha would wear. And that person was the Kohen, was the priest. And Acharei Mot talks about how the priest would serve in the ancient temple on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year. And every action that the high priest took was regulated by the Torah and by later Jewish law. And part of it was, for each part of the day, the Kohen had a distinct outfit that he had to be dressed in the right time, in the right way, put on the clothing in the right order, the robe, the belt, the turban, the breastplate, all of the attire of the high priest that he had to wear. And he couldn't serve, he couldn't enter the holy space unless he was properly attired, unless he was dressed in these holy garments. We call them bigdei kehuna, the garments of holiness. Now, what I find so interesting is that for the Kohen, for the priest, it really made a difference what he was wearing at that particular time. To be holy, he had to wear the holy outfits. But if we think about it, we don't really think about holiness that way right now. We don't really have an idea of a holy outfit. A tallis that I'm wearing right now, or the cantor's wearing, we're wearing right now because we happen to be leading services. But come tomorrow morning, Aliyah is going to start using a talit, and everyone wears a talit as a way of approaching God, of creating that sense of sacred space around us. It doesn't make you any holier than the person standing next to you. Well, the second Torah portion tomorrow is called Kedoshim, which actually means the word holy. And it starts with the instruction, speak to the entire congregation of the house of Israel, speak to everyone and say to them, Kedoshim tihiyu, you shall be holy. Ki kadosh ani Adonai, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. An instruction to the entire people, not just to priests, not just to rabbis or cantors or chiefly leaders, but to everybody to be holy. And then Kedoshim starts to describe what it means to be holy, what it means to be kadosh. And it lists a number of many different mitzvot, many different commandments, some that affect our relationship between us and God, and some that reflect a relationship between different people. But God gives those commandments to each and every one of us. And Kedoshim teaches us the valuable lesson that it doesn't matter necessarily what we look like. It doesn't matter necessarily even who we are. It doesn't matter what we wear. But the idea of being holy for us is defined exclusively by actions, by the actions that we take each and every day, by the things that we choose to do, and by the things that we choose not to do. In that regard, Kedoshim is one of the most special Torah portions in all of the book of Vayikra. A book that's very concerned with Kedusha, with holiness, and what happens within the temple and within sacred spaces. Kedoshim moves our focus outwards and reminds us that to be holy means to act in a certain way each and every day and to make a choice over and over again to live up to that standard of holiness. Shabbat Shalom. Continue with the Mariv, the evening service, page 39. Please rise for the Baruch Hu. Be seated. Blessed are you, Lord our God, creator of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבי.
Amen. Page 40.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל מחבת. יהם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך.
Page 42.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, top of page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם. מיכה מוכה באלים אדוני, מיכה מוכה באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר, נורא תהילות אוסיף אלה, אוסיף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסיף אלה, אוסיף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, הים לפני משה, זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך באלים. מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. ונאמר כי פאדוני את יעקב וגדול מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Allow us, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us again to life. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. And remove the evil forces that surround us. Blessed are you who spreads a canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom L'Shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom L'Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'Haim L'Haim Ufros Aleinu Sukkah Shlomecha Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drowned, but I never let them get me down. 'Cause when negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around, because all my life I've been praying for, I've been waiting for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more war, and our children will say one day, one day, one day, whoa, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim.
Darkochech to Aliyah and to snow.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס לנו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום לעד וכל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 46, please rise.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat le'dorotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim v'yom hashvi Shabbat v'yinapash Shabbat v'yinapash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat le'dorotam berit olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat
la'asot et hashabat
לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ימרו אמן, יהי שמי רבם מבורך, לעולם ועולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויבר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן ביעלמה במהרו אמן.
Spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
Completed your Amidah, you may be seated. Hezekiah taught, "Great is peace, for all other mitzvot of the Torah are conditional. If you see, if you meet, if you happen upon, if the circumstance comes your way, then you must perform the mitzvah. But if not, there's no obligation to fulfill it. But regarding peace, it is written, seek peace and pursue it. Seek peace wherever you find yourself and pursue it in other places as well. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say amen. Amen.
continue on page 54 with Kaddish Shalem.
יתקדע ויתקדע שמי רבה, ועמד יפרח ירותי במחמכותי בחייכון ובמכון ובית בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויפר ויתרבה ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל שמי קודשא בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, זמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צלתנו ואותנו זכו ישראל קדם, אבוהן וישמעי ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיים וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. אמן.
Turn to page 55 for the Kiddush. Please rise. Aliyah is going to lead us tonight. If you'd like to join us for Kiddush and you're on the younger side, come and get a cup of grape juice from Kayla over here.
But don't do it yet. Just wait for them. I'll get grape juice. Can you hold it with one hand? Okay. And then you can follow with your other finger.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'asavanu, v'shabbat kosho v'havu ratzon, hinhilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh v'reshit, ki yom tehila l'nikra kodesh, zeker l'tziat mitzrayim.
Kivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat koshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, inchatanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh haShabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Thank you, Aliyah. We continue with Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא צמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא,
בנות השמיים ויוסר הארץ,
ומושבי קרוב בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אבן מלכינו המסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, מהארץ מתחתינו. הכתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Turn to page 58. We ask God, grant that the memories of those who have gone before us be a source of strength for us and for everyone in the house of Israel, May the souls of our departed find peace in your sheltering care, and may we all be blessed with peace, tranquility, and the fullness of life. On page 58, I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to remain standing and join me in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Gadal, v'yitkadash, shemei rabbah, v'yalmad v'yivera kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lameo maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shemei d'kudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, amiran v'yama v'yimru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom. Enu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. You may be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I call on Tom Bach. While Tom is on the way up here, I'll share tomorrow, in addition to all of Aliyah's guests. As we shared in the email, we have some guests coming in from Israel. And if you were at Yom HaZikaron or Yom HaAtzmaut, either of the communal commemorations or celebrations earlier this week, you might have seen the Israeli soldiers who are visiting Charlotte this week. The Jewish Federation of North America brings in young Israelis, sends them to communities across the United States this week to help us mark those Israeli holy days. And it wasn't clear until the last minute that they'd actually be able to get here, to get out of Israel. One of them was in the middle of her service. One of them has been recovering from an injury that he sustained in Gaza. And they come and they share their stories with different organizations and talk about life in Israel. But and we'll talk more about them tomorrow, but one of the best parts, whenever we welcome young Israelis from Tzahal, from the IDF, or anyone who Federation helps bring into the city, is when we get to show them what our Jewish community here looks like. And most of them are very unfamiliar with conservative Judaism or Masorti Judaism or egalitarian Judaism. And they come into our synagogue, and they are just amazed at the incredibly vibrant Jewish life that we have here in the United States. And it's always a moment of pride when they're here. So I'm excited that they get to join us for Shabbat and get to see a beautiful bat mitzvah and get to see how we practice Judaism as we welcome them and hear about their stories as well. So if you'll join us tomorrow, their names are Shira and Roi. We'll hear more from them about them tomorrow. Tom, over to you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov, and welcome to the Sten family and Aliyah's Bat Mitzvah. Aliyah, you're doing a great job. We look forward to continuing the celebration tomorrow. Thank you, Rabbi Cantor, for leading us tonight. A big thank you to the Stanton family for generously sponsoring tomorrow's Kiddush in celebration of Aliyah's Bat Mitzvah. A very special thank you to our guests, Shira and Roi. We are deeply honored to have you with us today.
Tomorrow. They're not here right now.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Your service and sacrifice means so much, not only to Israel, but to Jews around the world. We'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our newly formed Engagement and Outreach Committee. As part of our strategic plan, this group is actively implementing new initiatives to deepen connection and build stronger relationship across the congregation. A couple of quick announcements. Don't forget to get your tickets for our annual gala on May 17th at 6 p.m. Be sure to reserve your spot soon. On May 8th, Voti will be leading services and hosting a traditional Shabbat congregational dinner. Weather permitting, the service will be held outdoors in our beautiful amphitheater. We hope all of you will join us. Registration is required for the dinner, so please RSVP as soon as possible on our website. Join Cantor Rushvark for a Torah reading class on April 27, May 5th, May 11th, after the 7 p.m. minyan. Learn to read Torah and connect with this ancient tradition. No experience necessary beyond basic Hebrew reading skills. There's going to be a temple security training on April 30th from 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. here at Temple Israel. You'll learn how to recognize threats and respond in emergencies. Dinner is included, and registration is required by today. So now that Shabbat's here, no more registration?
Oh, we'll take registrations afterwards, too.
All right, we'll do that. We encourage everyone to attend. Couple more, bear with me. Join us for Tikkun Leil Shavuot on May 21st as we celebrate the giving of the Torah through an evening of learning and community. Come be part of this meaningful tradition of study and connection as we mark this special holiday together. For more information or to register for any of these events, please visit our website. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.
Shalom. Thank you, Tom. Turn back to page 5. In the middle of the page, we'll conclude with the words of Shalom Aleichem. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat services with the bat mitzvah of Aliyah Stanton begin right here at 9:30 a.m. Page 5, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Ay, 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 Boachem, Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Nidel Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Nidel Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ay, 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 Tzivchem Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.